2 News. This is special coverage of Election 96.
We're going to go now to Harry Smith on our cyber set. Remember that it's only the cyber set that's virtual. Harry is manually operated.
And it looks like the folks that bought that argument were voting for the President of the United States.
"50 years ago, when I was born in a summer storm to a widowed mother in a small town."
I leave you all tonight with a full heart and a fervent prayer that we will meet again and we will meet often.
I am just so proud of all of you. I really, really am.
I would like to thank my parents, and I thank my beloved mother, who is smiling up there and said, "I never had a doubt. I always knew it would be this way."
Sister Donna, my brother Tommy.
I thank God that I was born an American.
ABC News now projects that Mr. Clinton will be re-elected as of now.
I was thinking on the way down the elevator, tomorrow will be the first time in my life I don't have anything to do. Thank you very much, and God bless America.
Yeah, we're in sad shape, ladies and gentlemen. That's a frightening situation. The election results were reported in Britain. From America. Do you understand over there how our election works? And if so, please explain it to me, because I have absolutely no idea.
If it, as it turns out, I think this election, if more people stayed at home than actually voted,
yes.
Does that translate into people just not turning up to Congress?
Well, half the people in America now don't have to listen to the president.
Right.
Because they didn't vote. It's basically he can make a law and they can go, well, we didn't vote. We don't have to pay attention to that.
Really, the Republicans have got the power as well, though, haven't they? You've got Republicans in the Congress.
We have a Democratic president and a Republican Congress. That's the House and the Senate.
What's the point of that, then?
To try and not do anything. To try and not get anything done. We're trying to paralyze our government.
And does that work?
Seems to. Yeah. Seems to be very effective.
I didn't vote, John. I might as well tell you that right now. Tuesday night, this goes over Britain, so it doesn't matter that they don't know that I'm somewhat apathetic. The Knicks and Lakers Tuesday night at the Garden. And the key there is, and follow this, Shaq Daddy is now in Los Angeles. He only makes one visit to Manhattan because of the Western Conference, Eastern Conference.
Shaq Daddy.
But Shaq Daddy. He's the largest basketball player we have, Shaquille O'Neal. 7'2", 300 pounds.
Right.
But yet, an excellent kisser. Oops.
Oh.
I'm kidding, of course. I wouldn't. See, this brings up an interesting point. How do we make the elections more interesting to people? Would it be, should we put Dole and Clinton in a Ford Bronco, send them down the Santa Monica Freeway, and then people would be interested?
Have them do a basketball game.
Yeah, I think, or maybe a wrestling match between the two on election night. You know, with two of them naked, covered in...
That's really fair. That's really fair. A 44-year-old fat man against a one-armed 70-year-old. That's a really fair fight. Why do Americans want that recipe for inactivity, a Democratic president and a Senate to be from another party? Why do we think we want that recipe?
Nora, take that one.
I don't know. I do think that Wall Street loves it. I think that the stock market, those people, whoever they are, every time there's a good piece of economic news, at least I might think it was good.
Right.
Those people think it's bad,
That
and
is
vice
true.
versa.
Yeah.
They're a weird group of people, and I knew the second all that happened Tuesday night that the market would go up 100 points, and I said so, and it did.
But see, isn't that part of the American system of checks and balances, though? Isn't that what we've sort of been...
It's not meant to be checks and balances. Checks and balances, this is just inertia, is what you get now.
Well, no, it's actually, it seems to me more like college exams. You don't do anything for 4 years, and then on that last night, I mean, right before Congress lets out, they're like, oh my God, we've got to pass some laws, you know.
But you know what I can't figure out about
What's
him.
that?
I'm sorry you didn't show any of his speeches, but you've probably
Dole
been
or
doing
Clinton?
that. Dole.
Uh-huh.
Well, Clinton's, there's no time to show the speeches, but that thing of Dole's that where nothing made any sense. And I kept thinking, you know how if you're someone's wife, you don't know how this is, but...
No, don't say that.
I mean, I don't know a woman who doesn't say when her husband is just leaving the house, she'll say, you know, are you sure you want to wear that tie? You know? Now, here's this man who can't give a speech. Don't you think she would have said at some point, honey, go somewhere. And learn to stop repeating yourself, and we'll just map out sentences, and you can try saying them so they scan from one end or the other. I can't get over, if she's so powerful, why could she not do that?
She wanted him to lose. Because if he was president, she's never going to be president. He goes down, she saves the farm, she becomes president.
Be president. No.
You don't think?
No, I don't think
She's
so.
a very popular woman.
No, I don't think so.
Really? She wears the lovely one-piece ensemble.
I know. I like her color. I like those colors.
The next 4 years, what do you think it's going to hold? Going to be filled with scandal for Bill Clinton? What's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think the reason people didn't get out and vote was because they didn't like either candidate and they didn't care. And a lot of Democrats I talked to reluctantly pulled the lever for Bill Clinton. The real leaders in this country, and you have to be a leader to be president, they don't go into politics. They go into what? Broadcasting. Coaching, right? Jimmy Johnson, former coach of the Cowboys. Do they know who that's American football? But I think, you know, like Bob Costas, wouldn't he be a great president? Do you guys know who Bob Costas is?
Nope.
Oh.
Yes, he had an interview show on at 1:30 in the morning.
He was
all right.
True.
What about Ronald McDonald?
He would not be a good president, but
no,
would be excellent to entertain at the inaugural party. Now, what will Tony Blair do? You saw Bob Dole say, this is the first time I've been out of work in years. I don't know what to do. What will Tony Blair do if he loses the election? Will he stay
I think he'll become a tap dancer. Because he looks the part, you know, and in fact, he'd be a better tap dancer than politician, I think. He's got the nice teeth, he's got the hair, he's got that kind of, you know...
What about John Major? If he loses his election, what's going to happen?
I think he quite wants to lose the election, to be honest.
Really?
The thing I keep trying to figure out with Clinton is he now has to spend the next 4 years trying to get hired as the CEO of some company.
Right.
So
he's going to play it up to business.
That's what it's going to be. So
that's what we can look towards.
Absolutely.
The next 4 years, Bill Clinton playing it up to big business, and that will be our economic policy for the next 4. Let's get to Hollywood now. This has been the year of the big budget special effects movie. Films like Independence Day, Twister, Mission Impossible, and Toy Story will be followed up next year by Volcano and Jurassic Park 2. But it seems like the more money gets blown up in a big flash, the more it gets handed back at the box office. So is this the only way to have a hit movie in America these days?
Hollywood has been more and more dependent over the last 20 years or so on what you might call event movies. Big special effects driven films that are not the most literate scripts in the world.
Just a little anxious to get up there and whoop E.T.'s ass, that's all.
Star Wars was really the powder keg that blew up anybody's interest in narrative filmmaking in Hollywood. Here was a movie that, although it had a terrific story to it, was really told mostly in action that translated very well to world markets.
I think when you do a special effect movie, first of all, you have to go to the limits of what technology can do, and you have to create sequences that people haven't seen.
One of the virtues of a low-budget movie over a big-budget film is that when you don't have all the money and time to shape things the way you want to, whether it's repainting a set or, you know, really fooling around with the production design, there's actually a quality of verisimilitude or truthfulness.
Americans are obsessed with numbers.
How long have you lived here?
See that? It's the number of years you want to know. The number.
Excuse me, I think I see my dentist.
One of the things I did was gather credit cards, tons of credit cards, over the course of, you know, actually like 2 years in preparation for shooting the film, and eventually gathered $70,000 of credit.